Mary Habila's case keep on taking as in different dramatic direction. Let me ask you this simple question: do you believe that the parents of Mary they are willingly, requesting to bury these girls, so fast? And on the other way around, Minister David Umahi, the one asking for autopsy. Do you believe these stories of the boyfriend? Do you believe the part of what this Anita Baski? Because you see the story of the boyfriend, you see the story of the autopsy, the parents want to bury David Umahi is the one requesting, and so many other things relating to this lady's story. Because now on this episode, I have a lot to show you. I have a lot of things to dismantle. I want you to please watch this video from beginning to the end. You will find out a lot. You will learn a lot of things from the parents of Mary Habila. You will learn who is his father. His father should be Mr. Wisdom, right? Or what? Yes, that should be Mr. Wisdom. You learn more from my Baski, Anita Baski. You learn more from her. You also learn more from Dave Umahi and his media team. And also, there's something I need to correct because you see, on my previous video that I did, I saw people on my comment section because people just fool my comment section. They are trying to make some correction. That is this idea of that Dave Umahi and his media team calling her a physiotherapist from beginning. And later, you remember in Dave Umahi's first interview, he says, well, she is a physiotherapist, not the main interview he granted. Even his media aide called the lady a physiotherapist. Is there before the next article now came out, they now have to start making correction. So before the other video come out, they start calling her a nurse instead of a physiotherapist. Because when the news first come out, everyone they were telling you, even from Dave Umahi's media and every other individual, both him, he said his first video, he called her a physiotherapist. She said Mary and the other second girl that were both what physiotherapy, not from me. So in case for the people that watch my first analysis about this death of this girl, you see, so okay, look at it here. Let me play for the case for those guys that watch the first video that on my comment section. Here you hear him. Let's hear the Umahi speak.
And they also live in the same compound with other workers at the guest house in Asokoro, where I stay. And somebody whose hair is reserved for is given, as if wrong girls were transported to, our residence. And that's the impression, the person, the lawyers have been briefed and they will take on the people that are evil and say they are fighting for the freedom of the country. Because if you intentionally did it, the death of the young lady will be far, far better than yours. Because, everybody is called at the time of God. So that lady, was a worker of Federal University Teaching Hospital. That lady was second to that ministry. The second lady is also a physiotherapist.
Now understand the English, because in case those people that were on my platform saying that no, that I was trying, no, I was the other guy said I was rambling. The other person said that no, I didn't hear Dave Umahi word. Did you hear him? That she walked with both of them, even the lady Basket, because I have to play her own interview. Both of them were working from Dave Umahi ward, this teaching hospital. You see, in his in Ebonyi State. You can see that both this girl and the other lady there both were physiotherapists.
From Benue State. One lady is also a physiotherapist from Benue State. Secondary.
So that word also with the conjunction try to join two words. Mary Bass a physiotherapist, and also the other lady also a physiotherapist. You see, because now this grammar I confused me when I now trying to play the other video. Because here he's telling you that she is a physiotherapist. She works in Dave Umahi Hospital, that's a federal hospital. And also, the other lady, both of them, that conjunction is trying to use to work, join both of them together, trying to tell you that they were both what? Physiotherapists. But later on the other interview, that's when he cleared that no, that is when he now called her a nurse.
Ministry. The second lady is also a physiotherapist from Benue State. So that lady, is was a worker of Federal University Teaching Hospital. That lady was second to that ministry. The second lady is also a physiotherapist from Benue State, seconded also.
All right, now you get it.
The ministry.
In case for my audience, okay, so I heard him very well when he spoke. Now, this is the other interview where he specified what, now mentioned that they are not. Now, listen.
She was a staff of, the lady in question was like a daughter to me. She had stayed with me for 3 years. She was a staff of the Federal Medical University. She was a nurse and not a physiotherapist. And the family and my family are like.
Okay, now you get it right. So in case if you are being on my platform, those of as in my comment section was like, going up and down. Now you understand the two. Because I don't know, maybe you done my previous video, I didn't work clear it this way. Now you see the other side, him himself and his media aid from beginning at the first time, they were the ones calling her a physiotherapist. But it's on this main interview that he now cleared, contradicting what the first statement they said, that she is what? A nurse, not a physiotherapist. So you see that he did some correction here. So these are some of the reasons why people were like, so Dave might don't know what is a physiotherapist and who is not. Now, National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, okay, and the National Association of University Students, National Association of Nigeria, National Association of University Students, and Ebonyi State Command backed an autopsy into what? Physiotherapy. Even articles, they are still calling her physiotherapist. You see, Mary Habila dead as Huriwa and the APM demand David Umahi's was suspension. So now on this article, just watch and see from beginning because I need to connect the dots for you to know things that is playing out on this game. The father of Mary, he noticed that he is the one pressing so hard for this girl to be buried. They are not demanding anything from him. David Umahi, the other side, is the one now pushing. Why the game they were playing there? I'm not accusing David Umahi of anything. And also from her friends. Her friend, she had made some deposition, is in the law court, narrating her own story. Her own revelation is also mind-boggling. Because I know say people don't see come across Anita Baski side of the story, but you need to pay attention for you to understand what really happened with this Anita Baski. Because she made some revelations. I know say so many people don't read the article. They go just jump, fast, without trying to understand how deep her story is. Her story looks so casual, but it revealed a lot. Now, let me play a little bit about her. Then, before narrating the full article about what this guy said, it is what mind-boggling, and people need to pay attention there.
Colleague of late Mary Habila.
So I want to say about her death. Because we learned that she shared the same apartment.
Her death is so unfortunate and it's so sudden and it's so surprising that the thing is going viral everywhere. And I don't have much to say because I'm not in the states. I'm the rightful state of mind to speak more about her death because it's a very great loss to me. So her death has been a very great loss to me as being a close person to her. So that is just it. I don't have much to say about it.
There are reports that people are transported in the court. So how would you describe, how would you react?
We were not transported in the boat. We are colleagues. I've been working for a very long time now. So we're not transported anywhere. I've been working under the minister. She's a nurse. She's a nurse. Why the news has been spreading around that she's a physiotherapy. I'm the physiotherapy here. She's a nurse. So we do not transport from anywhere to anywhere. We have been working under the minister for so long, over 3 years, and I've been working also in the Federal University of David Umahi, which is in Ogun. So that is all I can say for now. Sorry.
What's the name again?
My name is Anita Baki.
Anita what?
Anita Baki. Baki, yes.
Members of the press been.
So now hear from Anita Baki clarifying that she is a physiotherapist. So that idea of calling her physiotherapist is from Dave Umahi and his media team. Now this guy reviews something. These are Anita.
The seventh day.
She reviews something which is not from this particular interview. Now the article that because she made a deposition, as in this guy no agree make any statement. Let me break it down in a way people will understand. Did Anita Baki no agree would make any statement as in to press, apart from this thing where the way she talk. The next statement which she made, in order to make sure say everything is as in flowing together. That is why you see people that is compiling these articles keep on was suspecting more and more. The guy went to the court, a boy say high court and make a deposition as in drop his own statement with affidavit. Let you see the game. Because they have to make sure that she would study what she's supposed to say, how she's supposed to say, because right now she's not a suspect. Now he said that Mary Habila, when she first saw her, the day before she passed away, she went to plait her hair and she came back. Met her, even she herself looked at her hair and said, wow, you look so beautiful. Then she said she's tired that she want to go and bathe. That is it. But there's something that Anita Baki said here that you need to pay attention very carefully. She is a very close friend. She's very close to Mary Mary Habila. But there's something she didn't mention. She didn't mention both in the affidavit that Mary is sick. At least on the article that I read, unless she had made another statement. She didn't specify that Mary is sick. She didn't say on that affidavit, that article that I read, I should vote on reporter Sahara and the Vanguard or any of these. The other was the cable. When I saw that article, Anita Baki didn't specify that she is sick. As a close friend, she should know when Mary is sick. Remember, somebody can be sick at some point in time, but what we mean by sick is that high level of sickness that would have resulted to that sudden death. That is what we are talking about here. Anybody can fall sick at any time. I myself, after doing it, I may, have some catarrh, have some malaria. That is normal. But that particular day, she came back from plaiting hair. She didn't explain, try to tell her anything about sickness. Even though, let's put it this way, even as she entered inside the room, she's feeling somehow. And it said they have their door, closed door by door. So it's not that Baki is living far, Mary is, they were living side by side. That is to tell, even though Mary, she was feeling something, she is supposed to call on Anita and explain, I'm feeling somehow, and all those stuff. Apart from David Umahi that explained that it is her boyfriend that she called. And right up to today, we have not seen that boyfriend. We have not. But Anita didn't mention that Mary, she is sick in any way. That particular day, if you see her article, the affidavit, according to the affidavit, she was prescribed that when Mary came to her, show her the hairstyle, she look good, also she was let her go and bathe. That is it. No sign of somebody who is sick, who is weak, to the extent that she's bleeding from nose and mouth where they saw her body. So you now understand why people are beginning to look these stories, that there's something more. Because you see, let me clear, there's something Nigerians are missing, and please bear with me to the ending of this video. I will explain it. We are missing a lot of things because it is not only about this Mary Habila. There are so many other Nigerians going this way. So many Nigerians. So many Nigerians are going this way, losing their lives. You see? So many Nigerians are losing their lives. And something needs to be done. So when you see, I know that this accountability that people are calling, some people are calling accountability based on politics. Understand? So because not everyone calling for accountability is asking for the sake of humanity. Some people are calling based on political reasons. Some people are calling based on trying to, be part of the news, for their name to, go viral. Some people are calling for content creation. But there is something that every single Nigerians are missing, and I need to detail it right now. You see, in Nigeria, something need to change because you see this issue of Mary Habila is not the first, not the last. Like I said before, go to my platform, you will watch videos that I've done about how innocent Nigerians lose their life and nobody can trace it. Nobody can tell the reason why people where they lost their how they as in how they take by. I've called for setting up for emergency consistent and surveillance in Nigeria, which I know that the government can handle. But there's something that needs to be done right now in order to begin to ascertain how people are losing their lives in Nigeria and in order to bring an end of this as a misery deaths happening in Nigeria on yearly basis. Now, Nigerian government need to what? Put a law that will make sure that nobody, as in where people lost their life, they will not be buried until autopsy is conducted. Sheikhs, it is done on other nations to ascertain the cause of deaths in order to find a way to tackle it, especially this case of Mary Habila. Because you see everybody run haters scatter, crying for accountability, let there be autopsy. What about other individuals that have lost their life and media did not carry them? Because this is Mary, because media carried her case. What about other individuals in Nigeria that are what? That have lost their lives? There are people in the morgue right now. There are hundreds of Nigerians losing their lives on yearly basis. No accountability. Nobody knows what happened to them. We can only attribute everything to spirituality or we just take it like that. Something needs to be done. That is just simplified. Something needs to be done. There are so many other people like Mary Habila. You see why people are paying attention? You see, somebody asked the question, what if it's a big man's, child that, lost his life this way, by this way? Do you know how the things will be everywhere will be boiling? But let's leave that aside. Nigeria need to implement something because I see everybody talking, but nobody's saying anything. Everybody's just talking, but nobody's saying anything. Nigerian government need to make implementation for there to be what very as there must be whenever anybody in Nigeria, there must be death certificate. There must be autopsy conducted to begin to ascertain how people are losing their lives in Nigeria. That is how it's done in other nations. That's how it's done. Because you say people raising up. That's why this issue of Mary Habila, before you see it's gone. This case is, it's trashed. Before you will know this case, everybody don't forget them. That is because the system of calling for accountability, which everybody is shouting accountability, it is not the way they used to do it in every other nations. It should be done the right way. Accountability is not called where maybe one heavy news is spreading up and down like this one, this David Umahi. Why you notice that why he's spreading this way? Because David Umahi, have been talking so much recently. He have been boasting, especially challenging P2B for debate and all these things. Before this thing happened, that is why you see that the way you see people are not trying to, draw his case, drag him out more and more. It is because of all these things. I wish he didn't call out P2B as it was not in the public eye the way it is. And remember, under Tinubu's regime, there's so many scandals recently. So he's now helping to push more and more of this Devil My case. There are so many other individuals in Nigeria. Nobody is talking about them. No accountability. On the road, on the booths, jungles, everywhere. People losing their lives in Nigeria. Nobody is saying anything. What needs to be done is what? Start issuing death certificate. Nobody is buried. It should be a law. It should be what? Outlaw that nobody can be buried in Nigeria without issuing death certificate. And also, every single soul, every single individual that loses their lives, autopsy must be conducted. Then government have to set up a system that have to implement some level of free autopsy or 80% discount to every autopsy conducted. Yes, somebody will say, what if in the village? Yes, village is one particular, but they must implement it and make it started in the cities. Then gradually, as the development is coming, it will spread to rural areas. Because I'm not saying the villages, people by no trace. But remember, high level of these deaths take place in the city. So if government will put it into law, this idea of certificate and autopsy will start in the city. Gradually, as the villages, local communities are developing, so we also start having hospitals. We'll be able to do all those things. It will help control all this kind of misery, all the kind of misery, because it's called misery because nobody can explain. Somebody might be poisoned, the person will lose their life. They'll just bury the person. Somebody might be assassinated, they just bury the person. Sometimes you even attribute that somebody might be poisoned, they might even attribute it to witchcraft. Somebody might be strangled, they will just look at it and bury the person. Somebody might be injected, they will just bury the person just like that. Look, all these things need to change in Nigeria. And that is the solution. One of the solutions is what? Death certificate. Constant what? Run of autopsy and government what? Implementation. Because see, run of autopsy is very expensive. That is why government need to be taking what? 80% charge. Why those people involved paying what? 20%. So, like I always say, if this is your first time coming across any of my platform, please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share.